Have you ever just been watching anime and then all of a sudden you were hit with a... If the answer is yes, which it is, then you, my friend, have been rizzed up. Rizz comes in all shapes and sizes, but there is only a certain level of Rizz attainable outside a select few characters in anime. The amount of Rizz these characters possess elevates to such an extent that it is virtually unmatched. So buckle up on this journey in highlighting your new waifu or husbando. And those of you who say you could never be rizzed up, I hope you're not afraid of heights, because you're about to float. Who better to begin our illustration of Rizz than the Rizz god himself, Saitama. Now Rizz has been punching out charisma in his hit series One Rizz Man for over a decade. Not only did the Rizz Baldy break all the records in the Hero Association's fitness test, but his Rizz level is also off the charts. One of the most common forms of Rizz is associated with an individual's strength, because society typically renders that macho equals hot. And Saitama is strength Rizzcarnate. Each time we see Saitama effortlessly beat the baddie, his Rizz meter rises. In other words, one punch results in countless swoons. And just look at him. Saitama Rizz is a fashion icon. With a head shining like diamonds, tastefully paired with a Mickey D's drip, it's no wonder the villains always fall short. With all this in mind, it is simply inevitable not to fall under the Caped Rizzy spell when coming into contact with him. Our next destination on the Rizzline Express just happens to dab in the realm of infinity. That's right, the next Rizz Lord is none other than Satoru Gojo from Rizzjutsu Kaisen. Gojo's Rizz is apparent from the moment you see him. People's legs get noodly just by speaking with the Rizziest sorcerer. You're drawn in by the mysteriousness of his blindfold, completely unaware that you're about to be blasted away by what's underneath. As soon as he lifts that blindfold and those eyelids rise, it's goodnight Irene. It is said that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but a more accurate saying would be that beauty is in the eyes of Satoru's Gojo. Rizz is highly associated with facial features, and Riztaru's eyes might as well be the meaning of life itself. How can you not imagine diving face first into the beautiful oceans that are his eyes? I know it took all of Jogo's livelihood to maintain his composure while interlocking hands with the strongest Rizzer. No wonder it went downhill for old Lava Head after that. Unlimited Void? More like Unlimited Rizz. Continuing with the focus of eyes, it would be criminal not to feature Aqua from Rizzy no Ko. Aqua's Rizz also stems from his eyes, but rather than a vast sea to get lost in, his eyes overwhelm you with a one-of-a-kind sparkle. Rizqua's eyes reflect someone who knows what they want, and confidence and Rizz go hand in hand. In fact, the reason Aqua Rizz usually covers his left eye is so that he doesn't immensely dazzle everyone he meets. In order for Rizz to be truly effective, it needs to be natural. Aqua has Rizz because he's simply him. His cold, yet enduring attitude is how he wins people over. His appeal derives from his demeanor of having no real interest in people, but not being indifferent to people. It's like my great-grandma always said, why fill your body with drinks that are unclean when you can fill your cup with aquamarine? Whether you're an idol, actor or actress, YouTuber, producer, director, you name it, you can't help but fall for the enigma that is Aqua Rizz Shino. The next character on our Rizz list you'll find yourself having no control around. Arguably the character with the most amount of Rizz in existence, we have Makima from Chainsaw Rizz. Believe it or not, part of Makima's Rizz also resonates within her eyes. Either eyes play a bigger factor in Rizz than I realized, or I've discovered a new fetish within myself. But Rizzima's eyes are not as affable as Gojo's or Aqua's. Alluring would be a better word. It's as if those reddish-orange spheres suck you in, giving you no say in the matter. You may think you're looking into Maki Rizz's eyes out of your own free will, but don't get it twisted. She's in charge. As with anything, there's levels to Rizz. You have your typical Rizz level that causes raving or screaming, and then you have the level that causes kicking someone in the nuts repeatedly. There's Rizz that results in cutesy feelings, and then there's Rizz that ensues barking. Maki Rizma is in a league of her own. If you're looking for a Rizz ruler using slippery tactics, look no further than Rimuru from that time I got reincarnated as a Rizzler. First off, Rimuru's last name is Tempest. It doesn't get more chic than that, 100 Rizz points right off the bat. But Rimuru's main Rizz comes from their leadership and tactician skills. Everyone loves a good leader, especially one that is naturally kind, leads for the people, in addition to having the power to protect. Rimuru went from nothing to being the leader of their own nation. If that doesn't make heads turn, nothing will. Not to mention, Rizru's base form is slime. I can't imagine a better pickup tactic than being able to transform into a soft and squishy oval for someone to hold. Let's just say war tactics are not his only strong suit. There's a reason Shuna and Shion are always fighting over who gets to be with the ruler of Rizz, and you thought the Slime King was just the ruler of monsters. Let's take it back to an OG, a Rizzy boy responsible for making countless individuals faint. Of course, I'm talking about the one and only Sasuke from Naruto. Sasuke is a staple Rizzler. He's the iconic emo heartbreaker. Legend has it that the term Rizz itself originates from emo. Sasuke's Rizz is displayed through his timeless anime temperament of simply not giving a f
know.
It's the most reliable Rizz method. Do you actually think Rizzuke spends his time deliberately trying to Rizz people up? Nah, he just gives that forbidding stare of his and it's game over for every hidden village. Yet during those times where Sasuke does take the initiative and puts you under his Rizz jutsu with his Rizzagon, you better go ahead and buy that pregnancy test. And yes, after typing that sentence, I think we can confirm I have an eye complex. Those of you who thought the Shinobi Centerfold was the focal point of Naruto's quote-unquote plot are sorely mistaken. Sasuke Rizz Chiha is the truth. If you were asked to randomly imagine a person in your mind who had unparalleled Rizz, you'd automatically start picturing Ayanokoji from Classroom of the Rizz Elite. Just an image alone of Ayanokoji causes you to immediately think to yourself, yep, that guy has Rizz. Even if you know nothing about the series, you can just feel it. There's no need to explain how Ayanokoji has Rizz. He just does. Everyone wants to be involved with Ayano Rizz in one way or another due to his unrivaled perfection. Looks, intelligence, strength, communicability. Rizzunokoji has it all. He can do whatever he pleases. And let us not forget perspective. The only individuals comparable to Ayanokoji Rizz in the series are so-called elites. And yet these same elitists are not even on the same playing field as him. Kyopan is a Rizz god among Rizz gods. As we wrap up our Rizz expedition, I felt it only necessary to save the father of Rizz himself for last. The man, the myth, the legend, Kintaro from Risen Boy. In terms of strict evidence, Kintaro has the strongest case for the title of the anime character with the most Rizz. Every girl Rizztaro meets in the series eventually ends up chasing after him. He, quite literally, Rizzes up every female he comes in contact with. This is essentially the premise of the series. I'm not sure if any other anime protagonist can say this, and for good reason. Kinrizro is not only a jack of all trades, but simultaneously also a master of one. Not only can he do anything, he is also the best at everything, whether it's art, engineering, organizing, educating, or any other venture you can think of. Kintaro Rizz has got you. His unprecedented skills truly carry their weight in gold. May his Rizz bless us all. Well, I'm nearly ready to faint from all of this featured Rizz. I better put an end to this video before you all float out of the Earth's atmosphere. In no specific order, I think we can now all agree that these 8 characters have the most Rizz in anime. And there's a reason that exactly 8 characters in anime share unequaled Rizz. With just a slight turn of the neck, the 8 turns into the amount of Rizz each and every one of these characters possess. Infinite Rizz. Although there is one other anime character with Rizz that I didn't include on this list, but that's just because Bacterion's Rizz speaks for itself. And with that confession, it is now time for me to try and Rizz you all up with my dependable catchphrase. Remember everyone, you can't be a weeb without saying oof, and you can't have genuine Rizz without being an anime. Later.